Man, welcome back to the Fake Stuff Podcast. Back at it again, doing what we do. Some more rookie content because me and Craft Man, we're gonna review a rookie draft because we just had the NFL draft. So me and Craft's already had a couple rookie drafts. This was my first rookie draft of the year. Uh, People got real money on the line. What was they picking? What was they willing to do? Craft Man in the building. What's going on, Craft Man?
Oh man, nothing much. That was a pretty interesting rookie draft. It didn't go quite as chalk as I thought it was going to be. Just really starting off with DT right there at number 2 pick. But I've been waiting for it this whole time, and I was surprised there wasn't more trades go down. I think some people were trying to make some stuff happen, but nothing really came to fruition. The only trade they got done was mine, and it had nothing to do with this draft to begin with. It's just another trade.
Yep. I mean, we just had David on the last episode, and you just said something about David. Like, David, he's just somebody who talks about he plays fantasy football. Like, if you want your guy, go get your guy. We say that shit on the podcast all the time. Like, do what the fuck you want to do. Heck, I wish David Thomas was on this episode tonight because he would definitely be saying the same shit because I just saw him do it in a rookie draft. I just saw him do whatever the fuck he wanted to do because I wouldn't have did what he did. We'll get into that in a little bit, but Craft Man, is there anything? Oh, I mean, can't go on any further without saying don't be a hoe. Share the motherfucking show. We say it every episode. All we ask is that you share the show, Craft Man. Anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, just share the show like you said, and I'm ready to get into this. I'm ready to get into this rookie draft, man. It was a good one.
Yep, man. We getting right to work tonight. Straight to business. I mean, the Craft Man business. Like, look, at the 101, it was Ashton Genty. I felt like it was pretty much a given. Like, my only thing is I'm not saying I would have done this myself, but if I had the 101, I might would have shot to move back a spot or two, maybe, depending on what was out there. But I mean, pretty much a given. You know what I'm saying, Craft Man?
Yeah, I think this is the 101 in every single league, whether it's super flex, non-super flex. It seems, teams need running backs, so this is, once in like every 3 or 4 years, you get a running back prospect like this coming out. But I did send a trade for this after I got them first. I sent Zamil that them 226 first and 226 seconds, and he sent me back a laughing emoji. So, I mean, 226 first and 2 seconds. I felt like it was I don't feel like that's too bad for somebody we ain't seen play yet.
That is true. It's just funny because he's been tanking and doing all that, and then if he would sell Genty already, I would be like, God damn, dude, pushing it back another year.
I agree. He had so many picks in this draft too. It was like there was one point in this draft it was just like he's got the next 4 picks.
I do want to clarify that this rookie draft right here is one of my main dynasty leagues, but it's super flex, tight end premium, PPR, and the tight end premium is what, 1.5. Basically, your basics. Everybody's out there playing super flex leagues. It's your basic super flex league. But at the 102, well, your boy done messed up again. But at the 102, Judkins. Because we had DT on yesterday. I wish DT was on tonight, and it's like that one really did come out of left field for me. I know about going and getting your guy, but this is a situation. If I really like Judkins, I might would have traded back to the 104, 105 if I was really feeling that way, if I could have made it happen. But, it's like we say here at the Fake Stuff Podcast, man. Do what the fuck you want to do. Go get your guy. We done seen David do it. I done seen David do it for 3 or 4 years now, so this ain't nothing new to me. Seeing him at the 102. So, I mean, what were your thoughts about it, Crab Man?
I mean, when I seen it, I wasn't like, oh my God, I can't believe he did that. It was just kind of like, okay, he likes him better than Hampton. I could see Judkins wasn't my favorite player to watch when we were breaking down the rookies, but I can understand how he can just step in day one and just get, most of the goal line work and get 60% of the work. So there's not a lot of competition there. So I don't see nothing wrong with the pick. I just hope Judkins is a really good player.
Yeah, I mean, his path seems pretty clear. I mean, I know Cleveland went and got Dylan Sampson later on in other rounds, but yeah, I mean, I feel like Judkins will probably have a workhorse role. The 103 in our rookie draft today was Cam Ward, and I was trying to get in the mix on this one, Kraft, man. I was trying to trade for that 103 somewhat. I was trying to leverage J.J. McCarthy, trying to get that 103 plus, you know what I'm saying? Trying to get a little bit more. I would have went to but the thing is like, I was at a price. The guy with the 103, he was at a price, so we really couldn't come together too much. But I really wasn't willing to come off of, like, I'll put it like this: I would rather start my year with J.J. McCarthy, with Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, than Cam Ward with Calvin Ridley and Treylon Burks. Even though I was willing to get up in the mix, the 101 is the number one pick in the draft. Yeah, I think he's got an argument to be the number one pick in your rookie drafts if you really felt that way about him. But I don't have no problems with the 103. This is the only quarterback This is the only quarterback really willing to draft. So, what do you think, Kraft, man?
This was just that kind of year where you kind of got to take your shot with Cam Ward because the other quarterbacks are just so far down compared to this guy. And as far as the value standpoint goes, if Cam Ward goes out there and puts up some 20-point games to start the year, it ain't even got to be nothing spectacular. He's going to have crazy value throughout this season, even if he, if he pulls a Bryce Young his first year, he might lose some value. But if he just plays halfway decent as a good number 2 in your Superflex league, he's going to have a whole lot of value coming into next year. So definitely nothing wrong with it.
Yeah. Got to think he has a long leash, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're talking about 4 years of starting football, 3 or 4 years, no matter what. So, pretty safe pick, really, in my opinion. But next one at the 104, Ted McMillan went. I like the pick. The only thing is, we'll talk about it because Hampton's next, but I would have taken Hampton over about 2 or 3 of these guys. So, but Ted McMillan, I don't mind. I know you took a little dig at whoever was at the 104. Will talk about Panthers wide receiver at the 104. I'm glad I ain't got picks. Heck, I mean, I'm with it. I mean, I actually like the landing spot, so I actually, don't mind the pick at all. I really ain't got nothing to say except for maybe he could have went higher. I thought the way this draft just shaped up, you know what I'm saying? It just, Ted felt like he might have been a little low, but I mean, I felt like it was a good pick.
I mean, if you like the talent, which he's very talented, and yeah, I mean, it's just like the Panthers, DT said it last night. They've taken a wide receiver in the first round 2 out of the last 3 years and took one in the second, and with Mingo and Leggett, and they hadn't panned out to be anything. But Bryce Young did take a step up. It's just going to depend on if Bryce Young keeps playing better. But I don't like the fit mainly because it's the Panthers, and I don't feel like Bryce Young is a deep ball. He doesn't really succeed in that area of the field. I think he's more kind of tear you apart in the intermediate part of the field. So if he can succeed there, McMillan, that is, like he should be just fine and have a lot of targets.
Would you have taken Hampton over McMillan?
Yeah, I would have.
What about?
I would have taken the guy I took in the second over McMillan, but Hunter, probably not. That one's kind of risky.
So Ted McMillan, like, I'm just wondering how low is he for you? Like, he's not off your board, but I'm just saying, like, where's that point where you really like him? You like him over Trevion Henderson?
No, I would have took Henderson above Hampton and Judkins. So I like Henderson. Henderson's my number 2 running back in the class. And so it would have probably been around. I think I'd have took Golden. I would have taken. I like Jaden Higgins, man. I like the landing spot. So
yeah, you ain't lying though. I mean, I like it too. All right, well, shoot, man. Crabman not big on Ted McMillan, but this was the one best value in the draft. Amarion Hampton. Just happens to be my buddy Akil. He's been on the pod some, and he was texting us saying he didn't know about the rookies this year. He didn't know what to do. So for Amarion Hampton to just fall right into his lap, I was like, what a lucky break. I mean, because I would have taken him at the 102 personally. So for him to fall to 105, there's a couple of players in here that had some good value, I feel like. So I feel like Hampton was one of them because I felt like there was a little debate of how high he could have gone. And I was even saying you could probably move from Genty if you could get Amarion Hampton plus him being with the Chargers. I would have definitely entertained a move like that if you could make something like that work. But Crabman, what do you think at the 105?
I love it. I mean, just got to beat out Najee. Shouldn't be that difficult. Najee signed most of his deal was incentives. So I think it came down to really like $3 million, like guaranteed 1 year. And it can get up to, I want to say it was like $8 million, but most of that is in incentives. So now the Chargers might have an incentive themselves not to even pay that money to Najee and just run Hampton because he's a guy that can take pretty much everything. He can do everything real well. He's going to get the yards that are there, and with Jim Harbaugh, they're gonna pound the rock. So great, it's going to be a good pick. He's going to be he'll be like a RB2 this next season, I think, unless Najee's just a baller for some reason out of nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, that one was a good one. I thought this pick right here was good. The 106 DT went Travis Hunter, and I was a little low on Travis Hunter coming in, but after I seen the Jaguars, they trade up, they draft him at the 2 spot. It's like, yo, this dude's definitely about to play both sides of the football, especially in his early football career. So, man, what was it you said you in your first rookie draft? Travis Hunter, he had dropped a little bit. He definitely didn't go this high.
Yeah, he went at the 202, but it's a 10-man league, so what's that? The 13th, 14th? No, that'd be 12th pick.
So the 112, pretty much.
Yeah, the 112. Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, if you don't pay that much attention and you get into this sleeper stuff, the ADPs ain't caught up yet, and Travis Hunter's like way down the board because nobody's been picking him. And if you ain't on your game, if you hadn't taken notes and gotten ready for the draft, then you might just miss him.
Yeah. Heck, I was doing a lot of that in the rookie draft. I only had one pick, Craft man. I was just thinking of the possibilities of guys who would drop to me because of that ADP being the way it was.
Did you care to trade up? Was there a certain player in this first round where you were just like, okay, I'll give up something good? Like, don't you have Breece Hall, or did you trade in?
Nah, I do notice sources from my sources right here that Akil did say that NDB, shout out to NDB, sent him Breece Hall for the 105 today. So that would have been Hampton. That's I feel like that's just such a good trade. Like it could have went either way. Like, you know what I'm saying? I might would have went Hampton, but that's tough. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. What's he thinking about doing it?
I don't know. I just know he said he declined it. So I don't know how close he was to doing it. You remember we did that trade episode maybe a week ago or so. And there was one, it was like Breece Hall. I think it was you, maybe Breece Hall for the 104. So it's like, it's right in that range, right in that little pocket, what we was talking about.
Yeah.
Heck, what were we talking about though? I mean, other than JJ McCarthy, I was trying to make a little move up in there. And then later we'll talk about Luke the Bird. And he kind of dropped a little bit to the point where I was like, let me try to sneak up in there and make a little something happen. But I'll be honest. I mean, Phil and somebody said it. Man, this draft, if you think about it, this draft really wasn't all that crap, man. I think when you really look at it, just pen to paper, we needed more running backs in the mix this year,
And there was, but I feel like the landing spots they went to was just kind of like, it was good spots. But I think, we really wanted somebody like Hampton to go to the Broncos or something like that. And then RJ Harvey went there, and we were kind of in and out on him. And then you got, like Hunter went there. That ended up being pretty good. But Judkins to the Browns. Like, nobody went to the Bears either. None of the big guys went to the Bears or the Cowboys. And I feel like if the Cowboys would have spent a first-round pick or the Bears would have spent a first-round pick on a running back, then we probably would have been feeling like a little bit better about the running backs.
Man, speaking of them running backs, one of your favorites, Travion Henderson. I personally like the landing spot because I've been kind of rolling with the Patriots since last year. You know what I'm saying? Chris had a lot of negative things to say about him. I could never get on board to that extent. You know what I'm saying? But I think Travion Henderson got the draft capital, man, and McDaniel's offense. Like, I just really see it. I feel like this is going to work out pretty good. I think Drake May is going to be slinging it to Henderson a lot. And if you think about it, they don't really have any good wide receivers as it is. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, Henderson's about to really be in the mix. So we're talking about Judkins going at the 102. I mean, I would have taken Henderson over Judkins. You know what I'm saying? And he's going at the 107 in this draft.
That's a full PPR too, so they're going to be playing from behind unless they surprise and end up being a pretty good team. But I mean, it's hard to be off of Travion. He's just incredibly explosive and just a good running back. Had a great college career, super productive, and he's going to get all them dump offs, man. It's going to be like a little Alvin Kamara type action over there for a while. And new coaching staff, like they don't have any pass with Ramondre Stevenson. They don't have to run him. They can just use Henderson.
Right.
So this is still pick, in my opinion. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, there was a good value in this one as well. Not really much to say. I feel like we're both on board with that one. The next one was Emeka Egbuka. And look, man, I want to preference when we're doing this Dynasty draft right here. Our boy's Emil. He's got the next 4 picks in this draft. So, like, take the order as you will. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Egbuka's at 8. I might would have went Caleb Johnson at that 108. It doesn't really matter because he had all them picks anyways. So, I would really like to pick his brain. See if any of this matters. Was he trying to move around? He was probably trying to move around since he had all these picks right here. You know what I'm saying? But Egbuka at the 8. I was saying that I actually like this landing spot to Tampa Bay. I know some people don't like it, so I think this was a good value because I think he's going to take over that number 2 role spot. I think Godwin is a little messed up. I think McMillan, I think he's a good player, but he ain't. I just think Egbuka is going to pan out to be better. So at the 108, I feel like this was pretty good. This was like one that I had already said his ceiling ain't gonna be high. So I feel like if you already just had it baked in that his ceiling wasn't gonna be super spectacular, and the fact that he went to the Buccaneers, his ceiling already ain't gonna be the highest. I feel like that should have already been baked in. I feel like this was a pretty good fit personally.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's just you might have to wait a year. I mean, if Godwin does come out and he's still playing pretty good, I still think Godwin's going to be playing first week. They're going to give him the first opportunity at it. But Ohio State receivers come in the league ready to roll. So he could definitely take over the number 3 spot right away and then eventually, take over for Godwin if he's going to be injured. Godwin's 29 years old right now, coming off of a broken ankle, and then he had a torn ACL a couple years back. So that explosiveness just might be gone.
First tight end off the board, tight end premium, Colston Loveland. Listen, I like the draft capital and all that, but you know how it is with tight ends. I mean, I really don't even know what it's going to look like in Chicago. I mean, Cole Kmet can still go out there and do what he does. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, really.
So, I mean, I like it for the Bears as an offense as a whole. Z probably had a tight end need to fill it anyway. So why not get the best receiving one in a draft? You got all these picks. So, I don't – what do you think, Kraft, man? I mean, 109. He goes ahead of Tyler Warren. I mean, I've already kind of made my peace with Tyler Warren. Like, I don't really want him. So –
not really.
So I don't mind the pick.
Yeah, it's Ben Johnson coming over there. I was wondering, during the first round of the NFL draft, like, is this guy going to go out and get his Jahmyr Gibbs, or is he going to go get his Sam Laporta? And I thought Henderson had a very good shot of going there at that pick that they picked, but I guess they went with the tight end. Maybe it'll help Caleb Williams' progression a little quicker. Maybe he'll progress more, but I think Loveland's going to come in and he's going to play a pretty significant role catching the ball at the beginning of the year. Ben Johnson's going to look for ways to make it easier on Caleb Williams, and using the tight end might be the way to do it.
Right here, the 110. I was definitely paying attention to the 109, 110, 111 range because me and Craftman are in the league, and we got the 110 in the league. And I would be perfectly fine if Caleb Johnson fell to us at the 110 in a rookie draft. So because this is one right here that I actually like a lot. I would have taken him over level. I know Z got all these picks anyways, but I mean, heck, I would have taken Caleb Johnson over Judkins. Whoo, man. That one's tough. I'm going to be honest because I don't have Judkins as high as David Thomas has Judkins. And Caleb Johnson, I probably had him. I don't know, man. We're going to have to start really ranking these guys coming in next year. We're going to step up to our rookie game this next season coming up because Caleb Johnson's going to be the starting running back for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's not really going to have that much competition, and I feel like he's that one cut and go type running back. I feel like Mike Tomlin's going to love this. They don't have quarterbacks. I mean, I don't know what they're going – they might have Aaron Rodgers, but that's not something I want to bank on. They're going to be running the football. I mean, shoot, man, at the 110, whoo. I mean, this was good. I feel like, when you think about the draft, and I'm saying it was a little underwhelming, but then when you see picks at the 10 and 11, you could get a starting running back with draft capital. I mean, you can't really complain about that. So Caleb Johnson, one of my favorite ones.
Yeah, when I was doing a couple mock drafts before we did our normal draft, I kind of thought that actually Igbuka wasn't in here. I thought Matthew Golden was actually in my top 10 outside of Igbuka. But I thought this was kind of like a tier break right after this pick. And I was, thinking if you're at that 111, 112, you got to have something kind of break your way to get one of these good running backs that went to a premier landing spot. And then after this running back, you're kind of like, you're drafting, your scataboos who went later in the draft, or either they didn't go to the best landing spot. So I felt like this was the last running back that you didn't have to think twice about picking.
Yeah, I'm gonna push back just a tad bit, Craftman, because I'm gonna slide over to RJ Harvey. I think this one could go bad if you were overdrafting, but to me, at the 111 is not overdrafting RJ Harvey in this draft this year. So, I mean, this is just one of those. I mean, we play in a PPR league. He's going to be up there with Sean Payton, Bo Nix. He got draft capital. I mean, I could really see this one being a little PPR machine type deal. And I like RJ Harvey. I actually like the tape when we was watching him. With Central Florida. Heck, at the 111, I mean, sheesh. I mean, I feel like this is a good pick for a 111.
I mean, this is Sean Payton's offense, and if they wanted this pick and they went out and got him in the second round, they plan on using the hell out of this guy. So you might be right about this one. It's just, do you believe in the talent? Because he's got the breakaway speed. He's elusive. He's a little on the small side. So that's really the only, knock I'd have on him is he's probably not going to get the touchdowns. But as far as the checkdowns and everything goes, like they're gonna dump it down a lot. Sean Payton's offense have always thrown the ball to the running back, so that ain't gonna stop.
Yeah. So really, this right here is where it cuts off for me. I think you are right. From like Caleb Johnson is definitely more safer because RJ Harvey, I think it could work, but there's definitely a possibility like this shit could not work. You know what I'm saying? You could waste your late first round pick. I don't really feel that way with Caleb Johnson or any of the other running backs. So I feel like what you're saying is true. But RJ Harvey is like one. He's like the last. He's like a tier above Scatterboo. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe
to me, just because of draft capital purposes. But heck,
for
let's just
safety reasons, yeah.
yeah. But look, I want to give compliments to this pick right here just because it reminds me of last year, Bo Nix. People weren't high on Bo Nix. Bo Nix went at the 201 in our rookie draft. It's kind of the same thing right here. I'm not really high on Jackson Dart or anything like that, but he does go to the Giants. A little bit of a rushing upside, a little sneaky rushing upside, but at the 112, I mean, this is a good pick. I mean, like Fluxfield, he's won the championship in this league before. The dude definitely gets a quarterback with first round draft capital with the 112. I feel like you cannot complain with.
Yeah, it really don't even matter what you think about Jackson Dart. Like if he gets drafted in the first round in the NFL draft, they're gonna play him. But my question to you is who's the starting quarterback for the Giants in week 1? Is it Russell Wilson?
Yeah, I think it's for sure Russell Wilson.
Do you think Jackson Dart is going to be like we're competing with Jameis, or do you think it's like Jameis is the third, and it's if anything, if Russ starts playing bad, is Jackson Dart just gonna? Do you think we see Jackson Dart by say week 8 of this season?
Yeah, I think it's going to be the same old situation. Russ is going to come in. He might throw a couple bombs first couple weeks, then it's going to fade away. They're going to be losing. Then they're going to go to Jackson Dart. Winston ain't even going to be in the mix. I mean, it's just I do like what that DT didn't. He was saying he don't really like the pick, but I do admire the Giants for going out and building your quarterback room. I say it all the time that you should. I mean, last year, think about what their situation was. Now this year, you got Winston, Russell Wilson, and Jackson Dart. I mean, that's way better than what you was looking at last year. So, but that's just some NFL talk. But yeah, I mean, I feel like we're definitely going to see Jackson Dart, no matter what. Probably halfway, whatever you say, whatever you want to say. But we'll see him.
Yeah. I just want it's kind of sucky a little bit if you got Neighbors. Because the starting quarterback, I would say I would rather have Jameis and Jackson Dart probably in there before I would Russell Wilson throwing the ball to Neighbors. Definitely Winston, no doubt. I'd rather have Jameis in there chunking that thing to him, but I don't know. I don't know how it's going to look for Neighbors this coming year, especially with Russ. I mean, Russ kind of sucks.
Yeah. Now let's just slide over to the second round. We'll get through these a little bit quicker, but your boy Matthew Golden. Listen, I've already said it. I've had my, things to say about Green Bay Packers and what they're doing. But you have 201, you get a wide receiver with first round draft capital. I mean, what are you gonna say? I mean, this really is that. I mean, I know we're gonna get to Jaden Higgins, but I mean, I look at our next 2 picks and it's like Matthew Golden's a way better pick than 3 of these next 4 picks. You know what I'm saying? So. Yeah, so Z comes out on top with another wide receiver. I mean, I'm gonna have to take a look at Z's team. All them years of losing, but I guarantee you that team's loaded with some young talent by now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was thinking about sending him, Jaden Reed in like a second for this. I think I actually did. Then I withdrew it, but I just, I like Matthew Golden, and it's the same thing I did last year drafting Ladd McConkey in my other rookie draft. Like I picked these players. I don't even think it's that much bias. The Packers are a better team than the Panthers with McMillan. And I like Matthew Golden better than McMillan as just a pure receiver the more I got to watching it. So it was like, I thought he should have – I don't mind him getting picked right here. I don't think, he slid too far or anything. But I would have taken him over Igbuka, and I would have taken him over McMillan. But other than that, I think he went probably where he's going to go in most rookie drafts. It really just depends on if you want to go get your guy or not with him.
Right. And I feel like there's probably is a lot of going and getting your guy with Matthew Golden because there was definitely a lot of hype coming in. And once he got that first round draft capital, 202 was Cam Scatterboo. Listen, I like Scatterboo, and I think, it is realistic that this dude comes in and starts taking over that running back role. I don't see why not. I mean, it's just Tyrone Tracy in front of him. And Tracy was doing good last year. There ain't no doubt about it, but I can definitely see Cam Scatterboo coming up in here. A couple guys, I would have taken Higgins over Scatterboo. Uh, Probably Trey Harris and Luther Burden over Scatterboo, and I ain't even really that high on them guys. And I'm not saying I'm low on Scatterboo, but he still is a running back with day 3 draft capital. So, just draft capital is, to me, is like number one. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna take Trey Harris and Luther Burden with day 2 draft capital over somebody like Scatterboo.
This one's hard because you kind of go against what I always say all the time, where it's like you don't get picked in day 2 as a running back. You know, you're not necessarily off my board, but I'm not picking you here. But Tyrone Tracy, like he's a certain type of running back who is mainly a pass catching running back. He got used between the tackles last year because they had to. I mean, you got Devin Singletary over there, so I mean, I really don't mind the pick. My cue when it came down to it, it was getting very slim because I had Scatterboo there, I had Matthew Golden, I had 4 guys, but luckily you can go to this next pick, and I was able to get Higgins because of this next pick, which I was super happy that Jalen Milroe went because he wasn't nowhere near what I was thinking. You know, I wasn't even. It wasn't like, oh man, you sniped me. You sniped me with this one. It wasn't nothing like that.
Nah, man, wouldn't have did this pick, but I mean, it is. He went to Seattle, correct? I mean, it is just Sam Darnold up in there. So I mean,
Yeah,
you never know. I mean, this could end up being a good one. Like I could laugh at the pick all I want, but I'm not a fan of Jalen Milroe. But I mean, he could go to the NFL and run him crazy for a little while. I doubt it. Motherfucker's trash, man. I would have definitely went Jaden Higgins. Heck, I would have went about 4 or 5 guys. I might. He wouldn't. Milroe wouldn't even been on my board, especially in the second round. So, let's go over to another good pick. Probably one of the best picks because we was really starting to get down here to where it was like, who do you want at wide receiver? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a couple wide receivers like Luther Burden. He kind of dropped, and I think Trey Harris will be solid. You know, but Jaden Higgins though at the 204. That motherfucker Kraft, man, dude just wins again. I was, but this is a good pick for sure.
Well, I mean, what I'm hoping with him, I just really like his tape. I think he's good in all areas of the field. He reminded me of like Keenan Allen. Like he's a taller, bigger receiver, but he's not Nico. He's not a deep threat like Nico is. So I feel like he's going to fit in. They can put him in the slot. You know, you got Christian Kirk there. You know, he's whatever at this point. So my hopes for Jaden Higgins is hopefully he becomes at the very high end another guy named Higgins. But I don't know if it can. I don't know if it can get like that. But I could definitely see like a Devontae Smith type fantasy outlook for Higgins if he's as good of a player as I think he can be.
Yeah. Talent, landing spot, the whole shebang, and to get him at the 204. He was one of those crap, man, where his ADP was super messed up as sleeper, where it was like,
yeah,
I hope everybody just starts missing on him. Like,
me too. Me too.
Next, though, Tyler Warren. Probably, I've said this, probably in real football, he may be the best tight end prospect. Fantasy football, I do not believe so. And going to the Colts really doesn't butter my biscuits. So, you know, tight end premium, you know, take a shot, but probably would have picked it just to put it, because we're going to get to like a real big tier break. I would have taken Trey Harris and Luther Burden over Tyler Warren, but then I would have taken Tyler Warren. Like I'm low on Tyler Warren, but that's where the cutoff it would have been for me, that 207 range right up in there. But, you know, what can you say? I mean, he could be a beast.
Yeah, I feel like you had to make this pick right here because it did fall off a little bit, unless you really like a player like Trey Harris who went to a good spot. But I got to ask you, who is, whether Richardson or Daniel Jones is the starting quarterback next year, who's the leading receiver for the Colts next season?
Probably something we ain't even thinking about. Probably A.D. Mitchell. That, you know what? Go buy low on A.D. Mitchell.
I think it's Downs, but
yeah, I mean, I think it's gonna be something. It ain't gonna be Pittman. It doesn't feel like, and you know, I mean,
Yeah.
who knows, bro? I mean, for real, it's probably gonna be Downs, or I could see AD Mitchell still. And I'm saying that jokingly, but it could happen.
Where could Tyler Warren
You
finish
know what I
next
mean?
year? Yeah, where do you think Tyler Warren could finish in the tight end world next year? Would you be surprised if he finishes like the wide or the tight end? I don't know, 8. Is that too
Yeah,
high?
I'd be stunned if he was in the top 12. I'd be stunned. Seriously,
Yeah.
he
So
ain't gonna
that
finish that high.
and the 12th, the 10th tight end, if that's going to be his ceiling next year, that's not going to be a year that you're happy with. Like, it's just going to be like, okay, I had a couple decent weeks. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I'd try to trade if Warren had a couple good games. I'd try to trade his ass right away. I
Yeah,
don't believe in this
yeah,
Colts
hell yeah.
offense, man.
No way. Trey Harris, he went to the Chargers. We brought his name up a few times. Uh, this to me is just landing spot. It probably takes over QJ's spot over there. You know what I'm saying? So there was a wide receiver
Maybe.
need. Maybe, yeah. I mean, heck, buy low on QJ. They want to give up on him, but you could probably give him for a fourth now, Kraft man. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? But
you
yeah,
can.
Trey Harris for sure. Justin Herbert. I mean, you can't dislike linking somebody up with an elite quarterback like Herbert, Jim Harbaugh,
Mhm.
and they needed wide receiver. So we had some things to say about Trey Harris, but Trey Harris by no means is a bad wide receiver. So what you think, Kraft man?
I mean, I know a lot of people like him. I know a lot of people liked him before he got drafted. So, I mean, we're in the Jaden Higgins camp of like I wouldn't call it a sleeper wide receiver, but, not one of them top guys they were talking about. So I could totally understand if you like Trey Harris and you want to stick to your guns in your rookie draft, you can take him. I mean, it ain't no big deal if you take him over Golden or, uh, Jaden Higgins because the landing spot is great. It's just if you believe if he's a really good player or not. But Ole Miss kind of has a type, and he kind of fits that mold of the receivers that they kind of send to the league.
All right here, Kraft man. This is where it all ends. This is where the whole draft is over. After Luther Burden, really don't care about nothing else. And I was even getting in the mix. I mean, Luther Burden, some people were, real high on him. So it's like, he started dropping. I started, trying to ship out some offers real quick, see if I can get into the mix. But DT, he was the one we were making fun, not really making fun of him, but picked this guy at the 102. And here he is drafting him at the 207. I feel like DT really did overall have a pretty good draft. But this is pretty much where it ended. After this, I wasn't trying to make no moves. I was just ready for the draft to end after this 207. But yeah, what you think, Kraft man?
I mean, DT didn't have a whole lot of great things to say about it, in our last episode about Luther Burden. So, but I think it was just the end of a tier, and he had to make the
Yeah.
pick. So, the talent's there with Burden, but the pecking order in that offense is kind of to be decided after they drafted Loveland and everybody else. So it's going to kind of be. I don't know who's going to be the leading receiver. I would expect DJ Moore, and then Odunze's a stud. So I just don't know where this guy slots in the pecking order.
Yeah. I just think in general the Bears offense is improving. So you just hope Luther Burden is part of it. But this right here was the back half of the second. Jack Beck, Mason Taylor, Shador Sanders, Ollie Gordon, and Devin
Ugh.
Neal, 6th round. So we're talking about a guy that started getting real nasty. Listen, I ain't time stamping this episode, so if you want to check the draft board, I will link it down in the descriptions on YouTube and the podcast. Check out the draft board. But yeah, that back half of the second, that's where things started getting ugly. But 3rd and 4th rounds, Craftman, names that you want to bring up. I know I want to bring up the 301 pick. Schlug, what's his name? Schlock, Tyler Schlock,
Tyler
quarterback.
Tyler
Shuck
Shuck,
or
yeah.
whatever.
Tyler Shuck,
I
yeah.
listen, me and Crabman, we always talk about it. We really stay away from guys that don't have, if they're a quarterback, if they don't have that day one draft capital. you really want to stay away from him. I think Shuck is just in a little bit of a different circumstance because Shuck didn't. And here's the if you're on YouTube, check us out. We got the crap man up pulled up the board on for your ass.
Yeah.
Shuck, he didn't fall to the second. He rose to the second. So it's like a little bit different, come out of nowhere. And plus, the New Orleans Saints, they're saying Derek Carr might not even play. So then it's like, damn, this dude has a pathway to start all of a sudden. So in your super flex leagues, 3-1s, Emil definitely had a good draft. That was a good pick. I like seeing taking a shot on those quarterbacks. Like I feel like in this league in general, quarterbacks is just undervalued. So the fact that he might actually get a player that plays, I mean, who knows? He might play a couple games and ship him off for a second. I mean, that's a win. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
You know, I thought that was a good pick. Was there any more in the third or fourth rounds, Craft Man?
Yeah, that's why I just went ahead and threw it up there. I drafted Ferguson there at tight end. Of course, I like my own pick, but as far as the tight end goes, I think he's got a good opportunity with a good offense. But I like Brashard Smith over there at Kansas City. You know, Pacheco's coming off an injury. This is a good running back with receiving chops. So, you know, he could definitely get used at the very beginning. And you know, Kansas City don't really care where they draft a guy if he's good. So I could see him panning out. Kyle Williams, not bad. But as far as looking right, you know, A.O. Manor, I wasn't touching that man with a 10-foot pole. He'd be on free agency right now. So, I mean, there's – and Jalen Royals, man, there's no way I'd take A.O. Manor over Jalen Royals going to Kansas City, and he barely even got drafted in this draft. So, Jalen Royals and Jaden Blue right there for Dallas. Will got him late. I don't mind that pick either.
Nope, definitely got to, pick and choose back there. Yeah, you know how it is. Third or fourth round, you're really just hoping to get lucky. I mean, wasn't it last year? Big Dunk drafted Bucky Irvin in the fourth round or something like that. So you really you never know. You can hit or you can hit and gain you some value to sell a little bit later on. So yeah, for those out there in Doo Dynasty, this podcast was definitely for y'all guys. Two rounds. We've been in this league for 2 or 3 years or something like that now. So hopefully we'll send this to y'all straight up. But for everybody else that's not in that league, this is a super flex, tight end, premium, rookie draft where real money is on the line and what people was doing and making picks. Craftman, that pretty much sums it up. I mean, anything you want to say to the good folks out there?
Yeah, I mean, I know we were talking about our draft that we just did, but we were really I think we were trying to give some insight on where these players are going for your drafts that are coming up. So this is probably a little bit more beneficial than doing a mock draft, because this is real. This is a real league where people got money involved. So I just feel like if you're wanting to check out an episode and kind of see where these players are going, this will be a little bit better than us just sitting here doing a little mock draft. Screwing around, you seeing where we can get players at. So,
agreed. And we do like to do mock drafts, but there is a little bit of trying to build your team, trying to make a splash move in a rookie draft. So you know how it is. People say stuff on their podcast and do this on Twitter, but it's like, what are you doing when real money is on the line? You know what I'm saying? Like, and those guys that are in like 20 plus leagues, like, what are you doing in your home leagues? You know what I'm saying? Like, would you make that move in your home league? I know you'd do it in your 17th league for a Twitter comment or something, but I want to know what you do. This right here, this is what we would really do. What happened today with DT, the Craft Man, everybody in this draft? People really do that shit. And it's really like that. You know what I'm saying, Craft Man?
Yeah, and I hate to put you on the spot right here, Matt. If you had to take your guess, third, fourth round, where these guys went, who can be this year's Bucky Irving? If you had to call your shot on just a sleeper running back this year, who's your guy?
Well, it had to be the guy I drafted. San Francisco 49ers. Nah,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say him because his path ain't as clear as there was one running back I was thinking about, Giddens. I seen that DJ Giddens, he's got to compete with Khalil Herbert, I believe it was, for the number 2 spot. I just think it'll be
JT.
something random. Yeah, something random. JT's got a little bit of an injury history type deal, even though he just exploded in the fantasy playoffs last year. But something like that. I feel like it's something like no analysis is gonna give you that answer. It's just gonna be random at luck. Bucky Irvin had a path. You know what I'm saying?
Jaden Blue got a path.
Jaden Blue got a path. You ain't lying. He does got a path.
I just don't know about the talent. He's smaller like Bucky was too. So I mean, we kind of wrote Bucky off at we were talking about him last year because of his size. So it's a different league. Maybe he could do it. But I do like Shard Smith for Kansas City too. If Pacheco continues to struggle, so
I mean,
I like them 2 guys for sleepers.
Yeah, I mean, for that Kansas City situation, I got Pacheco, so I'm glad that he survived the draft like he did. But now it's time to see. I mean, last year he broke his leg, and at the end of the year he played like he broke his leg. So it's like, let's just see what he does. I'm super optimistic about that Pacheco. I needed him to survive, Kraft man. Needed it.
I know.
Oh man, but shoot, Kraft. Kraft man, anything you want to add about the draft or anything you want to say to the people out there, period?
I just appreciate everybody for listening. Hopefully this gave you a little bit of insight on how these rookie drafts are looking. I mean, we jumped on it as soon as the draft was over, one day after the draft. So we got down to business. We didn't leave. You had to know what you were doing. You had to know where these players went right away, make your sheets. But I just say to everybody, make your rankings before you do these rookie drafts. So because the ADPs are jacked up. Don't go in there thinking that you're gonna run off ADP, because Devin Neal was way up there in ADP. He got drafted in like the 6th, 7th round in the NFL draft. So
right, no, I'm with you. Gotta know, and you can tell in the rookie draft. You can tell there might have been a little bit of some of that going on.
So don't trust it. Don't trust that ADP at all.
It's gonna be a little bit different because in my home league, we're probably gonna do our rookie draft late in the off season, so it's gonna be a little bit of a different vibe by then. So, but listen, everybody, check us out on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever you can listen to a podcast. Check us out. Me and the Craft Man and the gang been putting a lot of work in, but don't be a hoe. Share the motherfucking show. But check us out anywhere. Like I just said, Twitter and any and all of that crap. It's all in the descriptions everywhere. So, Craft Man, I ain't got more to say. You got anything else to say?
Yeah, just one last thing I was going to say. Stick with us with our next episode. We're going to try to talk about more than rookies. We're going to try to figure out where these guys slot in ADP compared to all the veterans in there for y'all. Everybody start doing your startup draft. So going to be a very important episode, and I'm ready to get into the Dynasty rankings and figure out where these rookies, slot in.
Hey, and if you made it this far in the video, man, just hit us up if you want to play Dynasty fantasy football. Like, I've met people, word of mouth. It happens, word of mouth. But people want to play Dynasty fantasy football, just don't know where to play it, don't know how they can get involved. Dude, hit us up, man. I mean, I'm going to try to get a startup going I'm going to try to get a lot of new people, really. I mean, we got about 4 or 5 new people that are ready to roll. So, but we don't, if you play a lot of Dynasty leagues, we don't care. Come join us, play with us. But yeah, like Craftman said, startups are coming up. So ADP talk, probably some mock drafting, all kinds of
strategy talk.
The content's pumping, you know what I'm saying, Craftman? Pumping it out.
We got a lot to talk about, so.
Well, shoot, man, that about sums it all up. So we out.
Peace.